Hey YouTube, my name is Giovanna and I am the owner of La Catrina Mexican Shop. I wanted to start this new year with the channel on YouTube because I wanted to expand a little bit on our products. I wanted to showcase in a longer format video some of the great stuff that we carry in store. And most importantly, I think kind of help those who have maybe some reservations about buying items, kind of overcome your fear of trying something new. I wanted to start off with just a little bit of intro about myself and the store. I am a small business owner. I was born in Mexico. I'm from Zacatecas. More specifically, I'm from Tacualeche, Zacatecas. Shout out to anyone watching this video, you're from my hometown. There's actually a lot of people from Zacatecas that live in Fort Worth, so we're a lot. I came over here when I was 3 years old and I grew up here, went to school here. I went down a long road of a career and I started working for my dad in his small business. Come a year later, we got an opportunity to possibly open up a Mexican store in Ridgemar Mall. And what started off as a dulceria or a candy store ended up turning into this Mexican shop where we offered way more than just candy. I mean, we have piñatas, we have chips, we have drinks, we have soap, jewelry, crock charms, knickknacks and trinkets that you can't find anywhere else. And so that is why we are called La Catrina Mexican Shop. We also wanted to start this mini series about products so that if customers had any questions or anyone in general wanted to learn a little bit more about our culture, our food, our traditions, you can learn it from us. And so what my plan is for 2025 is just to make a couple videos. I can't promise I'll do it every week because I am an unreliable narrator. So I will do my best to make as many as I can. But most importantly, what I want to focus on is quality, and I want to focus on answering questions and just connecting with the community. And so I thought the best video to start off this series would be with one of my favorite products from the store. Now, this product gives me a lot of memories of my childhood, especially when we would go to Mexico during the summer, and that is Gamesa hotcakes. Now, hotcakes are what we call pancakes in Mexico. I don't know why, that's just why it is. I'm pretty sure there's a reason out there, but I just always know them as hotcakes. I'm very fond of this product because it reminds me of my summers. Every summer we would go to Mexico because in my hometown, Tacualeche, we would have a feria or a carnival. And so in this carnival, it's just like ones here in the US. You know, you have your midway rides, you have your vendors, you have your food, you have your games, win prizes, all that great stuff. So I remember going every summer with my family, and my favorite part was usually at the end of the night. Whenever we were on our way home, we would stop by a stand or puesto that was selling hotcakes. And so these ladies would be making these hotcakes. They would make them really big too, you know, about the size of your face. And you could add any condiments that you wanted on it. Miel or honey, mermelada or jam, maple syrup, or plain. The possibilities were limitless. And that was just such a fond memory of me and my family. And so I thought this is the best product to start off with. And not to mention, I do get a lot of people in the store who have questions about this particular product because they either think it's like not living up to the hype or it's overhyped per se, and they don't want to try, they don't want to spend their money on it. And I understand that, I can understand the reservation. So that's why I wanted to come on here, kind of go over the product, show you how it's made, and then you can make the decision if you would like to buy it or not. And so without further ado, let's get started. Miel or honey, mermelada or jam, maple syrup, or plain. The possibilities were limitless. And that was just such a fond memory of me and my family. And so I thought this is the best product to start off with. And not to mention, I do get a lot of people in the store who have questions about this particular product because they either think it's like not living up to the hype or it's overhyped per se, and they don't want to try, they don't want to spend their money on it. And I understand that, I can understand the reservation. So that's why I wanted to come on here, kind of go over the product, show you how it's made, and then you can make the decision if you would like to buy it or not. And so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's go over what we need. to make hotcakes, you actually only need 4 ingredients. You need the hotcake mix itself, butter, milk, and eggs. Now, on here, it does say leche descremada or skimmed milk. I've always just used the milk that I prefer. I always like to use lactose-free milk. We have our reasons. That's just the milk I've always used. So, or you can use skim milk. I know some people like to use like lechera. I know some people like to use, I think, condensed milk. Honestly, it's whatever you want to use. If you do have some dietary restrictions, I would just confirm first. Like, it's all in Spanish too, so I can understand that if you can't read Spanish, but you can always ask me. I have no problem reading it to you specifically what the ingredients have. So I just like to kind of make that aware that I don't use substitutions. I mean, like I said, I prefer lactose-free milk, but you substitute however you want to. You don't have to use the same ingredients. You don't have to feel compelled to do it exactly as I do. But this is just what it calls for. Like I said, I know people who just add water to this and it tastes amazing still. So if you want to just add water, go, by all means, do it. Alrighty, so let's get started. So now, all of these are the correct measurements to make the hotcakes. I always like to just measure with my heart, so they say. You don't have to be perfect with the measurements. Today I just kind of wanted to show you because I have everything here, so why not? But it is, again, to your own discretion. You can use exactly how much it tells you, or you can kind of, you can kind of figure it out. Pancakes aren't the hardest to make in the world, but I know some people prefer to have exact measurements. And then, again, if I'm in a rush, I just kind of go with my heart. So it does call for 1 taza or 1 cup of the gamesa hotcake mix. So we're gonna put that in our pan. And then it calls for 3/4 cup of milk. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Calls for 1 egg. Calls for 1 cuchara or 1 tablespoon of butter. I ended up using 1/8 just because it was a little bit easier to melt the butter in. So we'll just put that right in. We'll set this to the side. And then you're just gonna mix like you normally would with any type of pancake. It didn't even take that long. It probably took about, like, I think 10 seconds. You should have this type of consistency. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna heat up our skillet. It's obviously best to use a non-stick skillet for this. Again, use whatever you have. Don't feel compelled to go buy new stuff. Just use what you have to your best abilities. So let's go make these. Now we're gonna turn our stove on and get our pan heated. I also just wanna make an offset comment that I hate this stove. I grew up with a gas stove, so I'm still not comfortable with the settings and the temperature of the stove. I'm getting used to it, but I do miss the gas stove I used to use in my mom's house. Okay, now we're ready to start. Now, in Mexico, they usually use a ladle that's way bigger than this. And like I said, their stovetop that they use to make these hotcakes on are probably this size. But I just have a little regular old little ladle. You don't have to use a ladle. I kind of like and prefer it. You're gonna grab some of your mix, like you would any pancake mix. I know some people have those cool gadgets from Amazon, like the little ketchup dispenser light. You can use those too. And you are just gonna pour this in. If you can, try to keep it as a circle. Like I said, I am not perfect. I just kind of do what I see the ladies do. They would pour it on, and then with the bottom of their spoon, they would just kind of make it bigger and bigger. Now, this is the first pancake, so it's not gonna be perfect. I already know right off the bat. And I think I might turn up the temperature just a little bit. Like I said, I am not familiar yet with this stove, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Now, we want to start, and then you want to see these little bubbles. You want to have the whole pancake filled with bubbles before we flip it. If only you could smell this for the camera. I can already smell it is amazing. It looks like we got some more bubbles, so I think we're ready to flip. There we go. Now we're ready to flip. Look at that. Hey, that's not too bad. And here's our pancake. It didn't come out as a perfect circle, but the smell is amazing. It's so spongy and soft. Oh my God, it's amazing. You can add any kind of topping that you want. I also forgot to mention, you can also put Nutella. Nutella, we love to put Nutella on them down there in Mexico. But I'm actually gonna use the mazapan untable. If you guys don't know what this is another great product that we have in the store. Mazapan is normally made from peanut butter, or peanuts, sorry, into a powdery form. So everyone kind of calls it peanut butter. And now it is a peanut butter form, instead of it being in its normal little mazapan powder like. So we're just gonna add some mazapan on here. This is also creamy and delicious. There's also chunks of peanuts in there, so super crunchy. And honestly, if you want to, like I said, we're Mexican. Can you eat like a that? I don't know if you can see the thickness of it. Like, this is amazing. So good. I really hope this video was informational. I really hope this video maybe helped answer a couple of questions. And if it didn't, you can always come down to the store. Like I said, I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Like again, I want to make this series about everything and anything that I sell in the store. I'm not being paid to promote any of this. Literally, these are products that I took from the shelves of our store. I paid for it, but I'm not being paid to show a specific product, if that makes sense. So everything will be exclusively from La Catrina Mexican Shop, where you can also buy it and make your own hotcakes or whatever next time's video will be. If you watched it this far, thank you. You know, I don't think people say thank you enough for supporting us and our craziness in our videos. Hopefully the next one could be something as fun as this. Like I said, I don't know yet. I have lots of ideas spinning in my head. Like we have a chamoy pickle kit. I have dulces enchilados. I have atole. I have, what else do I have? I mean, I have a bunch of candy. New stuff's always coming out. And maybe I'll just do some more shots from the store too. But I really hope you enjoyed it because I had fun doing this. So until next time, bye.